webinar that I do every week. So, this is me, Sandi Saxena, and you're on Ignite with Sandi. What is Ignite with Sandi? It's a special webinar that I do every week for the Celestia platform, and it is a platform for women who are working, women who are running businesses, women who are thinking about running a business. And so we are women from all walks of life. And the whole purpose of Ignite with Sandy is to interview inspirational women, women who have done a lot of things with their life, women who are facing challenges, women who are looking at different ways of making money, generating income, creating new streams. And so every week I have a special guest. Now, this week I was scheduled to speak with a very wonderful young Emirati lady. Her name is Reem Al Falasi. So Reem has been very involved from a very young age, not only in academics, but in entrepreneurship and in the corporate sector and everything like that. And she is a very dedicated person, a person who spends a lot of time making sure that she's doing everything fine. But sometimes what happens? You need to slow down. And Reem was not slowing down. And so, as a result, she called me this afternoon and she was whispering. And I was wondering, like, what happened? And she said, Sandy, I can't speak. I have a sore throat and I have a fever. So I won't be able to join you for my interview today. And I felt really bad, but then I know how it works. And she very sweetly said, she said, I want to personally come on screen and apologize for not being there. And so I'd like to invite Reem to come and say a few words. Welcome, Reem.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our very own Miss Sandy. She has been very kind with her sweet words. I really appreciate that. And unfortunately, I am not feeling well. As you can hear, I'm speaking out of my nose. But I was very excited to this interview. I was going to share many experience and ideas from my whole journey in my career and on a personal level. However, I promise you all that I will be coming back again when I have when I feel better and I have my voice back and I have the ability to talk. And I know that Miss Sandy will take you forward with the interview today, and I hope you all have a great time with her. Thank you so much, and I really apologize for not being here today.
Not at all, Reem. Thank you very much for that. And from all of us at Celestia and anybody who has joined and who's watching, all the best. Get well soon.
Thank you so much, my dear. We hope to see
Not
you
at
again.
all. My pleasure. So, you heard from Reem, whom you can tell is also a very dedicated person. But you know what I have learned? When you're running a business, when you're running an event, there are so many things that are not in your control, right? And when you get stumped, especially at the last minute, what do you do? Do you just cancel and say, oh, I can't do this and I'm not going to do it and, find excuses? Or do you get on your feet, get your gray cells working and think, what else can I do? Because this is life, and life throws us challenges all the time, whether they are small like this webinar, whether it's something bigger. So I thought to myself, no, I'm going to go ahead with this webinar, and I want to share with all our viewers how it is that we can actually turn things around in our favor. And to do that, I have a person that I call my go to person, because I'm one of those, I may appear to be very, for in control and everything else. But believe me, I panic a lot, and I'm learning how to deal with that. And so I go to my go to person, and my go to person is a person who's been my mentor. She's a person who scolds me, she's a person who brings me back on track. I'm sure you have somebody like that as well. But my go to person is Jennifer Randive. So, Jennifer, the Maverick CEO. So whenever I introduce Jennifer, I said like, how do I introduce you? There's no way that I can find, because Jenny doesn't mean in defining people. So Jenny, I'm going to ask you, how do you define yourself?
I'm what they call, first and foremost, thank you, Sandy, for this sudden invitation. And this is what I find so interesting and so invigorating is that we all know about the phrase change is constant, right? The changing is a choice. So, are we ready to jump in and give that change a voice? So, that's what I usually do, jumping in and changing and shifting things. So, that's being the maverick. But I think it's fun to actually come spontaneously on a show and wait for you to ask those brilliant questions because I'm here to shift and change paradigms. I do that for a living. Um, so ask away,
Okay.
whatever it
All
is
right.
that you
So,
need to ask.
all right, Jen. So, what happened, taking this example right now, about 45 minutes ago, I was in total panic. And I came to you and I said, oh, Jenny, I really don't want what to do, but I want to do the show. How am I going to do the show? And you could tell that I was flustered. I was not really thinking very clearly. So, what did you say to me to basically tell me to behave myself?
No, it was not about behaving yourself. It was more about can we stop, just stop and listen
Oh,
to what's going on. So I had to stop and listen to what's going on. And I think I made you stop as well because once we all go into panic, because things actually happen and we all structured, we all want to work with structure and have things perfect. But life isn't so, right? We all of us know that. So to stop in your tracks wherever you are, whatever's going on around you, and actually get composed. Okay. And then look, only when you're in that frame of mind can you actually shift and change anything. So when you came in and said, okay, Jenny, I have this, da 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 da, and then plus you're coming onto a new platform, it's like, holy Jesus, what am I going to do? It's like, can you calm down? Okay. And then you asked me, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? I said, can you take care of the interview? And anything that you require, I'm over here and actually can play with you. So just calm down. So, with all of that, I think all of us could learn that we always have a go to person. And if you haven't got one, find one, please. Okay. Uh, um, the lesson from all of this is find a go to person. Second, don't think that you have to be perfect. It's okay to be with a fault and for it to go out of whack. And thirdly, please do not ever think that you've got to do everything yourself. Okay?
Yes,
I think
I
that's
think
something
that's the
that is
most
very,
important thing.
very
Yes,
important.
yes. So
So,
when we're talking about doing everything ourselves, like has to be perfect, it has to be like this because I want it like this and
mm,
whatever,
mm,
we're,
mm,
we're basically closing ourselves in and not allowing uh, other things to come up, like you say, so that things could get better. So,
exactly.
because for example, I have you here,
Mhm,
and of course, I have Sonia who's sitting in London, and
mhm.
both of you know very well how I panic,
And I
right?
think that
And
there's nothing wrong in panicking because, again, don't make, we've got to learn to stop judging ourselves, Sandy, more than anything else, because that's the way that you react. So instead of reacting, what I keep asking people to do is to stop and respond. So responding requires you to be first silent for you to be able to get, okay, fine. Who is the go-to person that I require? Okay, Jenny's there. Okay, Sonia's there. Okay, who else can I have in my portfolio of amazing people? You see, so that's why I love you for what you do is because you have amazing connections with everybody. And with one phone call, and that's what's so important, our
Yes.
relationships, Sandy. You know what I'm saying? To pick up a phone call and say, I really need your help.
Yes.
And people will be there to help you, which is absolutely amazing. It's a brilliant gift to have. The second thing is that I'm going to make the show all about you, if you don't mind, because okay.
Thank
So
you for putting me on the spot.
yes, the other thing is this: that how many times have you ever thought that somebody that you have met, way back when, would actually remember you? So actually
Hmm.
having proper relationships with people very essentially helps you to engage with them much better. I'm a
Yes.
very strong, I have a
Believe
strong
on
thing
that.
about engagement. Exactly. Engagement
Okay, so
comes from,
Jenny, I would like you very much to talk a little bit about building and maintaining relationships, number one, and number two, what happens to relationships along the way that don't really serve us? What should we do about that?
okay,
So
cool.
first is building and maintaining, and the other is eliminating.
Okay, big question, Sandy, there. Large one. Let me answer the first part though. Um, what is a relationship? Okay, a relationship is when I have an interesting concept on relationship. A relationship would be something that is actually separate and you wanted to bring together, right? But if we were all connected, then it'll be a cool thing for us to look at it, our life from that perspective. So now, to have a relationship is to be able to have someone in your life who is never judging you, has always got your back, who's always there for you and has a listening ear, doesn't have to do anything, it's just being there. Like when you came in today, I had to shut up and just listen to you. Okay. There's no need. So, but because if you have someone who's panicking along with you, then you're not going to go nowhere and do nothing. Okay. Nothing's going to shift or change. So now, when we are communicating with all kinds of people every single day, right? So you talk to people, you find out it's more about engaging. Are you engaging with people without a hidden agenda?
Ah,
Because
okay.
all
So
the time, all the
sorry to
yeah,
stop you. Sorry to stop you there, darling.
mm,
I just want you to, when you finish what you're saying, I want you to talk about hidden agenda.
yeah. Because most of the time you'll notice that, especially in the business world, okay, people are constantly, okay, now connect with so and so, this guy will give you this, connect with so and so, this guy will do this for you. You know? Everyone is wanting to get something from somebody all the time. But is that genuine relationship? Is that genuine engagement? Okay, so that's one aspect. So now the funny thing is this, that if you really were to engage with somebody genuinely to find out who you are, what do you do, what actually brings you joy, what's fun for you, what you do on a day off, uh, do you have family? This is really getting to know the person really well. And it's always, I've written a couple of quotes, and it is like, what if you could actually engage with people without having a hidden agenda and wanting something from them? Now, I think the relationships that you have, and I've been privy to that, is usually about, hi, how are you doing? What's happening? Hi, darling, how are you? In your way of communicating with, hello, darling, and God bless. Those are your favorite ways of communicating. But is that genuine? Yes, it is. Because people can sense when you are actually
Sometimes it's
pulling.
genuine, and sometimes it's like just a way of speaking.
Exactly. So now, if we were to really connect, which is engage, which is to connect with people, you will actually sense that people will be, they pick up. We all psychic, I keep saying this, we all psychic, we pick up when we can sense that someone is calling just for something. Okay. All of us, all of us. In fact, everyone who's listening over here, you must have experienced when someone is calling you and you're saying, oh my God, what does she want? Or what does he want? Right. And there are times when someone calls and you go, hi, how are you doing? What's happening? Okay. So that's one thing. So now, what if we were to shift our relationships from just having a hidden agenda, which comes to the top second part of the conversation? It's like, Do you feel comfortable by going on asking for something from somebody to make you look good or feel better?
I
Generally,
think
you
it's
know,
quite draining. It's quite draining
yes.
for the person being asked, for the
Even
person
the
who's
person,
asking.
no, the person who's asking also, Sandy, there's a little bit of feeling discomfort
Yes,
of asking something when you know within you that you have not been in touch with them for the longest time ever, and now you're picking up the phone and saying, "Can I do? I want you to do this for me." Which comes to the thing, and I think it's a great topic that has suddenly emerged. Is about can we engage with people without having a hidden agenda, literally, because when we are coming from that space, the whole world actually opens up to us,
yes,
and we can tap into anything to bring us some things that we didn't even think we could ever imagine doing. People really want to connect genuinely. It's not about running after people and we must hit this target and we must do this. And, that mayhem that is being created by our reality of
yes.
having more people, let's bring more people in. No, it's not about that. It's about can we bring genuine people in who will
Yeah,
have our back,
quality, quality.
that will have our
Yeah,
back in the time of
yes.
need.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was talking about Reem, and she is one of these young people who wants to do everything. So I'll
Mm,
have a job, I'll have a business, I'll have a hobby, and I'll do this and I'll do that. And she's very much a representative of her generation,
mm,
where they want to do a lot. Okay, so when and on the other hand, we have the older generation that says, slow down, take your time, enjoy a bit, rejuvenate yourself before you do something instead of doing too much and then having a burnout.
mm. So
So, what would your advice be to the younger set?
whether young or old in this case, Andy, the young ones who have got the entrepreneurial spirit, go-getters, they're also they're looking at everything that's going on and people moving fast. So, and I have to, run and do stuff too. Then you have the older ones who are trying to compete with the young ones. I mean, there's competition going on all the time. But if you were to look at it, ask yourself this question because you have got energy for sure, but your body can only do so much. And you don't want your body to fall to pieces just because you want to do 101 different things. And I'm not saying that you can't, but please honor your body in the whole process because your body, you see, your body takes you from one place to the other. So stop and actually ask your body, what kind of movement would you like to have today? Body, what would you like to do today? Because your body has consciousness as well. So don't treat it like a sidekick, and only operate. So the way I look at it is most of the people are roaming with just their head.
Yes,
They forget that they have a body, right? And it's essential to actually look into your body and actually ask whether your body is really wanting to do something. And then we have targets, these targets that we talk about. And
oh God,
this may
yes,
be, okay, this might be totally unconventional to whoever might be listening. But there are times when even if you have targets, you're feeling like hell. Okay. And you have all these responsibilities and everything. And your body is just not wanting to move. And your mind is saying, come on, move. There's a constant battle going on there. But in times like this, it's also important to recognize the fact that your body also knows what's best for you. So please listen to your body. Secondly, and I've experienced this many a time, it's like if you're trying very hard to do something within a time frame, it has to be done, it's going to turn out actually quite weird. It may not
yes,
turn out the way that you thought it should be, number one. Whereas on the other hand, if you actually did have a rest, have 40 winks, and come out more rejuvenated, you'll be surprised what amazing surprises actually show up, and you wonder, wow, how did this happen? It's really weird.
yeah. Well, I have to say this. I love my power naps, no matter which time of the day, and no matter where.
Oh,
I
we
just
all
have
know
a power
that.
nap.
We know that because I've seen you actually in a conference when you had traveled a lot. And in a conference, you just pulled up like four chairs, put them together, and you were out like a light. And everyone is screaming and talking around and wondering, really? Do you really do this? But it's the most amazing, I think, gift to have is to be able to switch off and switch back
Yeah,
on, which is really cool.
yeah. Yeah, so we all set ourselves targets, we all set ourselves goals. There's a lot that's going around, you visualize and you set your goals and you look at them and you examine the goals every day. And then you have this path that will take you to your goal and all of that. And it's generally, from your mind, you put it on paper. So, and you put it up somewhere like a vision board. So, what's your take on a vision board?
Well, I've been there, I've done that, and it didn't work for me, Sandy, because
Why?
this is simply because um, I can have everything on a vision board as to what I really desire. But if my mind is not, you see, not really geared towards making that a possibility, then no vision board can actually create anything from nowhere because I have to be involved with the creating of the vision. You can't have a
Yes.
vision but not do anything about it. That's number one. And number two, there are
Yeah.
many people who would have a vision board, Sandy, but are not aligned to the vision board because everyone
So,
says you must have a vision board with $1 million and a house and a car and a white picket fence and a dog and a wife and three kids. Okay. But then again, you have to ask yourself, are you ready and are you prepared? Because it's you and your body that's going to take you there, right?
yeah,
You and your body are going to get down to creating that. But
yeah.
many people think that if you have a vision board and you look at it, it's actually going to show up like freaking magic. It doesn't.
Yeah, you know what I find is that the vision board, and if we're doing this as an exercise in a group, especially,
Mm, mm,
somewhere at the back of our mind is like, is my vision board going to be better than A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Right?
mm.
Do I have all the boxes ticked? Have I got a big enough vision? Am I appearing more ambitious than others? Do I want a better lifestyle than others? Because what I find is like there are some people who are very content. They're very content with their life. They're enjoying their life,
Mm.
and they don't see the need to perhaps move to a bigger house or buy a more expensive car or
Mm.
whatever it is. And so,
Mm.
does that make them a person without a vision and without ambition?
Good question. Very good question. The question over here that everyone needs to ask themselves number one, are you happy with what you have right now? That's number one. Number two, are you looking at what other people think about you and trying to bring your life to what other people are doing? And
Like
if you are not
impress
doing
them.
the same thing, then you're less than them. So the question over here is, does your car, does your house, does your money in the bank actually make you as a person?
Yeah.
Okay, just a
So, a
very
lot of
simple
us think
question.
that, or a lot of us feel that that is the way it should be.
Okay, don't get me wrong, money is a damn good thing to have. Okay, it's really cool because if you have money, you can do a whole lot of stuff. But if
Yeah.
you are determining, you see, to be able to create the money and to be able to have the lifestyle that you want, first and foremost, spoiler alert, do not have a lifestyle like somebody else's because you will never ever be able to reach there. Be content and desire the lifestyle that you require because you're unique. You've got to get
Yeah.
it that we're all unique. Why are we trying to be like somebody else? It's ridiculous. I mean, it is such a tiring exercise to try and be like somebody else because if you've even reached close to them, they have changed and done something else, and then you're left like, what? What
Chasing
happened?
them.
Exactly. So then instead of chasing your own dream, guess who you're chasing? Someone else's dream. How does that work? Nada, doesn't. Okay.
Yes.
So that's one area. The second thing is this: if you had money, okay, the question is, money doesn't determine you. You determine the amount of money that you create.
Yes.
That's what it is that we've got to get. We are the source. We are the creators of a different possibility. We create and generate money. Money doesn't come to create you. Hello, doesn't happen. Okay. So if you're wanting a whole lot of money, be creative. Know that you are the source. You are the creator of different possibilities. Okay. And once you get that, and
Yeah.
then go
So
into, I'm
what
enjoying.
I'm hearing right now is that we are always chasing something. Our
Mm,
whole life is spent in chasing. Very seldom do we sit back and enjoy, because we feel unless we're in the rat race, we're on the track,
mm,
not taking a break, uh, we'll be left behind, and somebody else will get something more, and it will be difficult for me to get what I want. So we spend a lot of time running, or not running so much as, as you said, chasing.
yeah.
So I think we need to take a break from chasing.
But the thing is this: are you getting tired with the chasing? Just ask
Yes,
yourself that question: is this chasing working for me? Or is it eliminating any thought process that I could be creating to have the lifestyle that I truly desire? Because it's all it's energy. Everything is energy, right, Sandy? So if your energy has
hmm,
been leaked out, it's like a straw leaking out into what other people are doing all the time. Then do you have any energy left for you to actually be you in your sublime splendor? No, because you're too tired, worrying about what other people are doing.
yeah,
It's absolutely this stuff that we're bought into, that we have to be like somebody, we have to, you know, be better than somebody. No, can you be better than you than what you were yesterday?
yes,
And to be able to be better than what you were yesterday, you've got to connect with yourself to know who it is that you are right now, right? So it's not about other people. The whole exercise, I think we've got it completely the wrong way around. Anything that has to shift or change, money, relationships, marriage, love, businesses, anything, it all starts
yes.
with us
Quite
individually.
true.
Okay,
Yeah,
because all of us are unique. And I keep saying to everybody, if we are unique, then would we need to compete?
very true. If you're unique, you don't need to compete.
Totally.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, so Jen, sometimes what happens is, because we're in this race to finish, reach the finish line, and get the big prize. Uh,
Mm,
in the old days, we used to have this saying said, "Stop and smell the roses."
exactly. Exactly.
I think that should be one of the things that all of
Yeah.
us should be doing in this day and age, no
Yeah.
matter how which age group you fall in.
Absolutely, you're spot on. Remember when you came to me and you said, Jenny, this is the situation. As I say, that I have an SLA, a service level agreement that I've created for myself. Usually,
Okay.
SLAs are created for suppliers, like we would like this, and this is how it should be done, this is the time frame, and blah, blah, blah. So I created a service level agreement. I call it the SLA of life myself. And any situation that I come into that is not congruent with what it is that I would like to create, what is causing disruption, I will always say stop. I'll tell myself stop. Okay. The next thing that I do is I will tell myself listen, listen to what is going on. Okay. And listening is not just listening from the ear, but listening to your thoughts that are going all over, and you're going ballistic because of those thoughts, because there's panic and there's fear and there's anxiety and what have you. So stop and listen. The third one is, if you were to be able to ask yourself questions in that space of when you're stopping and you're listening and all the stuff is coming up, and you're going and you're looking at it, you're seeing it, and now you're listening, and now you ask the questions. When you're asking those questions, it's remarkable of what awareness actually shows up. As the awareness is what it is that delineates the clutter and makes you see directly into the area that you must step into, which is the most brilliant thing to actually experience. I do it all the time because I created it for myself. First, I created for others. I said, "Hello, since I'm so good with telling everyone what to do, try listening to myself." You know, that's another thing. Try listening to the advice that you give to other people. Oh my God,
Oh,
you all need to
yes,
have the freaking
you know,
answers.
you know why? Because what I find is it's like so easy to sit there and say, "Oh no, you should be doing this," and well,
Yeah,
you know, you should try this,
mm,
and then if you're honest enough, you're thinking, "Did I do that?
yeah.
Did I try it myself?" The answer is
That's
generally no.
oh,
I
but
didn't do it myself.
that's exactly it, Sandy. When I say so, instead of running around and trying to be like somebody else, if you were to just stop, listen, and ask questions, and actually recognize that in all that mayhem and all that energy that has been dispersed all over the place, if you were to just sit. I'm not asking you to meditate, okay? Don't
Hmm.
meditate if you don't like to, okay? Some people think, oh, now I have to sit and find time to meditate. No, even if you don't meditate, just sit quietly with yourself. Alas, seriously,
Okay. So now
it's
there's this
really,
one thing that we hear all the time, and you know, like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I have a pain in my body. My head is hurting. You know, I'm feeling slightly dizzy, and I feel totally drained of energy, and I don't know what's wrong with me. So
it's a
then,
really good one. Really good.
we a
Everyone
lot
is
have
experiencing that. Everyone is
yes.
experiencing that. But the question over here is, Sandy, and I do a couple of tools that I'd like to share with your audience, if that's okay. Is like when anyone is having any pain, okay, um, headache, feeling dizzy, or whatever, I usually ask them a question: who does this belong to? Uh, we've got to know that we're all energetic first. Our first language is energy, okay? And most of the time, when we are having any kind of situation, our head is paining, back is paining, or whatever, when we ask the question, who does this belong to? It usually lightens up in the body. Our body usually lightens up when I ask that question. And I tell people, please don't go into your mind and think, oh, who is it? No, it's nothing of that sort. Just try this out. Ask the question, who does this belong to? Okay. And if your body senses you becoming light, okay, it usually is not yours. Light means true. Who does it belong to? It's not you. It belongs to somebody else. So just return it to the sender with consciousness attached. I've experienced this done a million times, and so have my clients that I work with, Sandy. It's remarkable. People have got all kinds of ailments in their body, and they come, and I say, well, who does this belong to? It's a simple tool. Ask yourself. And they would either say, oh, it's my mother. Immediately. It's not about thinking. Usually, what we do is we are so wanting to help the rest of the world in healing them, and we don't even do it consciously. It is an unconscious. If people are healers, there are lots of healers on the planet roaming around, and we want to have everyone feeling nice and healthy and happy. So if you pass by anyone who's in pain, psychically, we would pick the pain because we know that we've got the ability to release it. Okay? And this is more of a shaman thing, Sandy. I know that you're into shamanism. So the shamans in the older days, just to give people some sort of context to what I'm saying, the shamans used to have the ability, and still do have the ability, to draw out pain from somebody and to keep it in their body because they know how to get rid of it also. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, we are not shamans. I mean, most people are not shamans. So now we're walking around, someone's got an ache and a pain, and we go, oh my God, poor guy. And then immediately we take on the pain. Then we come home because this backache, where the hell did it come from? It's perfectly all right, right? But what we have done is we've actually psychically helped release the pain of that person because we truly care for the nobody to have pain and suffering. And we've said, oh my God, what a poor guy. Oh, I wish I could do something. Okay? So we take on the pain. Now, we don't all have to be shamans to be able to get rid of it. We could just say, who does this belong to? A very easy tool. And most of the time, it actually releases and it actually shifts because I used to do this all the time. I used to walk from my home through the metro to the office. And invariably, I would be perfectly all right at home and walk, and I would actually get this pain in my back or my head. And I'm saying, hello, what's going on here? Till I learned the tool myself. And I said, so who does this belong to? And it would be a light field. I said, return to senders with consciousness attached. Because what you're doing there is you're not sending the pain back to the person. No, you're also healing, helping the person heal himself with what it is that he has bought into. And he must have bought it into some from somebody else. That's the thing. We keep picking up stuff. Pain, thoughts, feelings, emotions. 99.999% of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we have carrying along do not belong to us. And my
Mm,
job
wow.
as a paradigm buster and a consciousness coach and also an energy worker is to actually help people to get rid of that because it's like deleting the hard drive of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, giving you the space to become you, the
Yes.
brilliant you that you've been looking for. Yeah.
I know, I know. I've attended lots and lots of motivational speeches, people giving speeches, people telling us how to find ourselves, how to what's it called, get more focused, more goal oriented, write down everything. Uh, I hate writing down everything. And I find that I could have written down something when I was in a certain mood, and now when I read it, I don't like it.
So
It doesn't make any sense to me. And so this thing, because I think I don't know about others, but I'm just talking about myself right now. Is I feel I can change from last week to this week. So is that bad? That I'm not, at first I thought it was that. Is it like I don't have any focus, so I can't decide whether I want to do this or I want to do that, or what is it that I want to do? Because I do know what I want to do, but maybe I don't want to do it in a certain way. So is that wrong, or can I have my own way of doing it?
so now, Sandy, if I was to ask you, are you the artist? Are you the architect? Are you the artist of your life? What would you say?
Yes.
Okay. So why would you make that wrong
Hmm.
or judge it? Right? Now that is your operating system. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere, and then you show up looking glamorous everywhere. Get it? So if that's the way that you operate and is bringing you joy, go for it. Have fun with
Yes.
it. So now
Look.
everywhere, no, seriously, we've been told this is the right way of doing it. This is the wrong way of doing it. Don't do it this way. I'm not saying to make anything right or wrong. My invitation to people is listen to everything and choose something that works for you. Today, you may want to jump around and do whatever. Tomorrow, you may want to sit down and actually write something. And the other time that you'd want to actually televise something, or you might want to make a video of something. The idea is if you have a set of things that you'd like to do or complete, can you every day ask what needs to be created today that will come with ease? Because there's no point. Because what happens is if you don't do it, Sandy, you start judging you.
Yes.
And as soon as you start judging you, you limit you immediately. Because nothing new can come if you're judging you. Judging goes along with limitation to any creation. So please be kind, everyone out there. Please be kind to yourself. If you're not being able to come on the Zoom, my dearest Reem, please honor you and not judge you and never feel bad because next time when you come, you probably steal the show and do a brilliant job. I'm just
That's
filling in.
very true. But it's also I always feel that the universe is always sending us little messages now and then, And if we pick up on those messages, we can become a little more aware of what we should be doing. So, for people who know me, I'm one of those, this has to be done, it has to be done my way. Why isn't it being done? Blah, blah, blah. And then I get pretty hyper. And then I try and get people around me hyper. And Jennifer says to me, just relax, take a breath. Nothing's going to, the world is not collapsing. If something is not working now, it doesn't matter. And so I'm consciously trying to do that. And believe me, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yes, but is it
It-
doable?
now
The
the thing
answer
is
is
this,
yes.
Sandy. It's you see again. Let us not judge ourselves. If we are control freaks, be good with it.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
okay? Acknowledge you for being a control freak, okay? Acknowledge yourself for being perfect, and it's okay. There's no judgment. Eliminate the judgment from any creation because it is an elimination of any creation, literally, okay? So now it's about the universe is wanting to give you something, but then you have your own point of view as to how you want it done. The universe cannot come in and give you anything if you have got predetermined, preconceived notions as to how it is supposed to be done, because you think you have all the frigging answers, right? So now, how's the
Yeah,
universe going
that,
to come
that,
in and
that,
actually
that
give you
doesn't
something?
happen.
Okay, that can
Yes.
you cannot see anything new. You are miraculous if you allow yourself to receive. We do not know how to
Yes.
receive because we're so busy and we've been taught it is not good to receive, it's not good to get anything from anybody because then you are going to be seen as not being powerful. Spoiler alert, okay? Get over that, okay? Really, really get over that because you can generate and create way more if you're willing to receive everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, you receive today the ugly and the bad. Like, oh my God, Reem is not showing up. Okay. But if you were going to be in resistance of the bad and, oh my God, now what's going to happen? You would have seen that nothing new would have shown up. You see that? It actually, when you were on time, Reem came in,
Yeah.
Reem spoke, I came in, and we're having this amazing conversation, right? So you had not two guests, you had three. How cool is that?
Quite true, quite true. So,
Right?
Jennifer, in conclusion,
Hmm.
what are the you choose your number because I know you have this. Some people say three, some people say four, five, six, seven. So, you choose a number of pointers that you could share with us, all our viewers today, and of course, I'm going to learn as well. What are the things that where we can take immediate action? It's not like I'm working on it. Well, that's another thing that happens. I'm working on it. No, no, no. I don't think you should be working on it from what I've heard you say. So, what are the five things or whatever number you choose to make us feel fabulous today after listening to this, or when we listen to it later on YouTube or whatever, and we get these pointers that says, "Yeah, I'm gonna feel great today."
Okay, cool. First and foremost, what would you like to create today? It's your choice, right? So if you want to create something, can you jot it down on your phone or a piece of paper? Like, oh, I would like to create a video today, okay? Or I would like to create a nice document that is going to be really cool for how to engage with the team, okay? Something of that sort. So when you're getting up and you're having that sensation of wanting to create something, then get into the zone of doing it. And if you're not in the zone, please don't blame yourself or judge yourself for it. Because maybe it's not the right time right now to do it, but later in the day, you might receive inspirational stuff showing up. It's like, oh my God, that's a cool idea. Let me do it. Okay. So please do not judge you. Go with the flow of the energy that is there and ask what needs to be created today for my business or for my work or for my job. and and you will get the sensation of an idea. It's almost intuitive. Oh, okay, fine, I could do this. Okay. So, second thing is, please stop judging you or anything or anyone else. Please stop it. Literally stop it. Okay? When you're judging somebody or judging yourself or judging something else, remember that you almost, as a judgment, you have to have those barriers going up. They actually are energetic barriers that go up and cover you and limit you from receiving anything new from anyone, and you will not get any ideas because you have blocked it, and the universe cannot facilitate any shift or change for you. Please remember that we've been gifted with the choice. Our biggest gift is our will and our choice, but we have to make the choice, right? Because if you're not choosing, guess what? It's another choice. You carry on doing the same freaking thing, okay? Um, the third thing is try and choose something that lightens up your life, okay? You don't have to be dreading what it is you're going to do. Try and have some fun. The element of fun has been lost in the corporate world. Let's bring it back. Literally. In your life, are you having fun? Or are you from deadline to deadline to deadline to deadline? Are you breathing? No one breathes anymore, right? So I'm going to say, first and foremost, find out what it is that your heart, your mind, your being wants to generate and create today. Be creative. If you're not being creative in that moment, don't judge you. Drop the judgment, and you will see that all the limitations go totally away. They actually water is like water, wash away and gives you the space to create and generate something brand new. Okay. And third, most important thing, please have fun. I keep telling everyone, what if you could find out what brings you joy and then literally employ what brings you joy in your daily life? That's what I have to
Okay.
say.
Okay, wonderful. So, what I'm going, my takeaway today as we close this session, Jennifer,
Mm.
is very simply, I need to chill, right? And when
Okay,
I'm after I chill, it's to give myself that time of not being constantly in that mode of I'm answerable,
desperation.
I'm responsible. Oh
No
yeah, all
desperation.
of
No
that.
desperation. Only creation.
Yes,
Desperation eliminates creation. Okay. And the other thing, Sandy, is constantly being on the go, on the go, on the go. It's actually being wound up. What happens when you wind something up? It blows up, right? What if you keep on pushing things underneath the carpet? You end up with a freaking sandstorm, right? Most of the time, we're eliminating ourselves to try and create something else for us. It can't work. Unless you're not fulfilled, how can you fill anyone else up? It doesn't work. You're
yes,
running on
very true.
empty. You're running on
But you
empty.
know what?
Fill you.
It's where so sometimes what happens is you get on that path because you're fired up and yes, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and then a lot of us just fall back into the same
Happen.
hamster kind of thing.
Exactly. The other thing is either you fall back in doing the same garbage that you're trying to get out of, or you fall sick. I mean, we are falling all the way. So we have to stabilize ourselves, right?
So in short, the body is saying to us, "I'm sick of you," right?
Listen
And
to me, and then I'm sick of you. So I'm going to make you experience being sick. The other thing is this, Sandy, before we go, is always remember that your body will give you a pain when it's trying to get your attention. The only
hmm,
way that we listen to our body is when we are in pain. It is trying to get your attention, which you've not been paying attention to.
yeah, so
Pain
I
is
think
always
on
there.
the on that happy note
Yes,
of experiencing pain, understanding pain, and listening to our body that's giving us pain, right? So,
Exactly.
so it's actually quite funny if you come to look at it. And I think people, women especially, should get out of that zone, like, unless I'm in pain, unless I'm in stress, I'm not doing work, I'm not giving enough of myself. And what we're saying to you today is that if you really want to be more of you, enjoy more of you, and actually contribute more of you, you first learn to
To
be relaxed and give yourself more of yourself. Correct?
150%. Very well said.
Okay. Thank you.
Really.
So, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching us today, I got a lovely lesson from Jennifer today. And I hope that Ignite with Sandy has fired up those neurons, because Jennifer has really fired up my neurons. And when you see me next week, I shall be really chilled out and relaxed and enjoying myself. And I hope that my guest next week will just be as chilled out and just as relaxed and happy as me. You know why? Because when we are both in that condition, we are going to be able to give so much more to everybody else around us. And that's what Ignite with Sandy is all about. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jennifer, for, as always, stepping in and filling in for whenever I need your help. You're always there for me, and I truly appreciate you. And today I'm doing it publicly. Isn't
I
that
know.
nice?
How did I get so lucky? Wow. Thank you so much, Andy. It's been
Yes,
fun. Thank you, everyone
yes.
who's been watching. And let's ignite with Sandy some more. Thank you so much, Sandy. God bless.
Thank you very much. God bless. See you next week.